Hello everyone and welcome to a chat about cord cutting. I'm not going to do my usual where I say this is going to be a short or a quick, because actually when I was putting this together I realised there wasn't going to be anything quick or short about it. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this. I hope that it answers some questions. Obviously if you have any questions, there will be a written blog as well as this recording. So if you have any questions, then please do let us know. So what is cord cutting? So one of the definitions that I saw was it was a spiritual cutting of a cord that has developed between you and another person or another thing. So it could be an organisation or a place. And that we actually create these cords are created every day, because we are constantly meeting people, we are going places. So these cords occur, and some of them naturally dissolve on their own. There was one article where I read that this person recommended at the end of every day seeing them dissipate. She did it I think she did it in her shower. So as she showered, she saw these cords being washed away. So these are the temporary sort of ones. The ones we're dealing with specific cord cutting are those ones that sometimes we're aware of them, sometimes we're not. There are ways of knowing that you've got these ties, which I will come to. I will begin by saying, as I've said on numerous other recordings, with any spell work, do not do this in the heat of the moment. Not cut ties with somebody or something angrily. We're not capable of knowing what's going on in somebody else's life, and they could be dealing with things that we have no idea about, which actually makes their behaviour not reasonable but understandable. And the other side is that time is a wonderful hindsight, a lovely degree in hindsight, where something happens, we think it's all of their fault, and then a little way down the line, oh yeah, I've got something that, yeah, perhaps if I hadn't have done that, then that wouldn't have happened, or if I hadn't have said that, that wouldn't have. So, you know, there could be it could be that we were actually part of the problem. So when you're cutting, cord cutting, you need to be very specific about what you are actually cutting, because you might not want to completely sever out the person or the organ, especially if you work for the organisation. You don't really want your job not to be there until you're ready, obviously, to move on. But you need to be specific about what you are cutting. And when you cut it, you need to leave something in its place. You need to see it healed over and filled with some either golden light or good positive energy. I'm jumping around, so I apologise. I will go back to why. Why would you need to do this, and when is it needed? So there are, again, online, there are numerous websites which on the written blog I have tried to name a few, but there are some patterns that tended to be repeated in all of these. So how do you know that you have something attached, an unwanted energy cord attached? And these are some of the things that can be recurring that you pick up on. So you get obsessive thoughts about the person or the place or the thing. You're repeating negative self-talk or things or feelings from that person, place or thing. you feel sick or drained when you think about said person, place or thing, or you spend any time with said person, place or thing. Despite cutting all mundane contact, the attachment still is there. It still keeps reappearing. You avoid places that the attachment may appear or come up, or you no longer do things that you love doing for fear of bumping into said person or thing. You have repeating dreams about the attachment. You feel less of a person because of the attachment's influence over you. And even though you think you've moved on from the attachment, you still find yourself playing those scenarios in your head, or the life lessons keep life, so that you're not finding any peace or forgiveness for yourself or for what you are attached to. Any thought of that person, place or thing makes you anxious, tired, or physically sick. So if you've got any or all of those going on, there is a very strong chance that you have got some serious energetic unwanted cords attached to you. Now, these can be attached to any part of your body. A lot of the examples were saying that they were linked to either the heart energy center or the solar plexus energy center, but they can just as easily be connected to your crown, to your throat. Do you find it difficult to speak when this person's around? Could be a throat issue. Sacral, or even base. You know, do you feel that you cannot do things around this person because, or place or thing, because it might infringe on you and your safety? You know, all of these things. So you've decided that this is going on and you want to do something about it. What do you do? So if you were to ask 20 witches this question, how do I go about doing the cord cutting? You'll probably get different answers from all of them, and possibly multiple answers from each of them as well. Simply because there are numerous ways to do it. What I'm trying to do in this is hone in on the ones that come up the most often. So if you want to do a Google search on spiritual cord cutting, there's pages. But as I say, I'm just trying to bring it into something workable here today. So to start off with, I will say that there are mundane things that you also need to do before you even think about doing anything magically. You need to verbally say goodbye to said person or characteristic of that person that you don't want to have anything to do with. And you need to affirm and keep reaffirming your intention to let it or them go, that you don't want anything more to do with them. If you have any physical property that belongs to whomever, whatever, that can be material possessions, gifts, money. So say this person has lent you some money, then pay back the loan. Pay it back as quickly as you possibly can without, you know, doing yourself an injustice. But yeah, if you can, return those items to them. If you can't return the items, say they were gifts, charity, give them to charity. Obviously cleanse them, because you don't want that negative energy that's around them to then go to somebody else. So cleanse them either by just saying, I cleanse this item, wafting a stick of incense around them if you want to, or just holding your hands and just saying, I want the negative energy from this to be dissipated, to go into the earth, see it, visualize it. just going, and then give it to charity or thrift shops, or just throw it away. You know, if it's something that you don't feel can be thrifted, something that you feel really can't go to somebody else, then put it in the trash. Get rid of it. Block all forms of contact. And this is obviously if you're dealing with a person or a situation that you really don't want any further contact with. So not a particular attitude or attribute, but you actually are, that's it, I'm done, I'm out of here. So block all forms of contact, including anything on social media, because you don't want that person coming back round. So those are the mundane things. Just remember that you can cut cords just to remove a specific trait, action, or reaction. Especially I'm talking about people now. And again, obviously, if it's your organisation that you work for. So, yeah, be very specific in your intent. Because you don't have to do it to the whole situation or the whole person. And this is why it's so important to do this in a calm frame of mind, not in the heat of the moment. Because if you do, and you just go, that's it, I don't want anything more to do with you, at the best, your relationship would become different, but it may become unsustainable. So yeah, be very, very aware of that. So I'm going to share, as I say, the common themes that I picked up looking online. And Rachel has very kindly said that I can use one of her rituals from her book, Curative Magic. So, okay, you've decided that this thing needs to be done. You've got this, you can feel it here or here or here, wherever. You can feel this cord. So one of the simplest ways of dealing with it is simply by visualizing. You know, just visualize. So take some slow, deep breaths. Close your eyes. And then ground. So see your roots going deep, 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 deep down into Mother Earth. When you feel that they are as deep, or as some people attach their roots to a rock or a crystal when they're down there, do whatever you normally do. And then you're going to say to the earth that you want help with dealing with this, so that earth energy rises up. You're not using your own energy to do this, you're using earth energy. And when you feel ready, you start to visualize the cord going from you to wherever the other end of it is. And you need to really see it. You need to know what color it is, how thick it is, what the texture of it is. And see those ends. See the end attached to you and see the end attached to whatever is at the other end. And once you have that picture really clearly in your mind, you have some options of how to deal with it. So you can actually say to the image of the other person, thing, place, I'm taking back my energy. And you seize the cord right near to where it's attached to them, and you pull it away from them. See it, feel it, you pull it out of them. And then you feel, because this is your energy, you feel it coming back into you and going back down into Mother Earth, so that she can dissipate all the nastiness and return your energy all nice and clean to you. So there's one option. You can do a double. So if you don't want that energy because it is so contaminated, you can seize it from them, and then you can pull it from you and then drop it onto the earth. See it just drop and see the mother just suck it in and deal with it for you. That's quite a nice one. Another quite nice one is imagining a huge, huge pair of scissors or an enormous knife that's nicely carved, or a sword. And see this following your will, severing, and then that bit of the cord goes to them. Your bit of the cord comes back into you, and again, you put the energy down, get Mother Earth to deal with it, and then you have the good energy back up. If you work with angels, Archangel Michael is the one to call on for this, because he is the one with the sword. So yeah, if you work with angels, call on can't even say it, Archangel Michael. Whichever method you decide to use, just remember, it is going to leave a hole of some sort, whether you've pulled it out or sucked it back in. So you need to see that area filled with. That's why I tend to send it down and then bring it back up. So what I do is I send that energy down to the earth, see it coming back up nice and fresh and clean, sitting back there again, and then I actually visualize it being stitched up so that it's all brought back together again. So yeah, so if you want to, you can do that. You can see it all stitched together, or you can see it just coming together naturally. It's up to you. But yeah, you need to know that that energy is now clean. Another way of doing it would be to see light, draw energy from the sky, earth, wind, is it earth, air, fire, water? You can pull energy from all around you. But you could see it coming, say, from the air, from the sky, whatever. A colour, if you want to see it in a colour. See it, just filled, sealed over again. So that is not, I would say that's probably the one that I use the most, is visualization. Simply because you can do it anywhere, anytime. You don't need anything other than your visualization skills, and an awareness of what's going on. So yeah, I would say that's probably my go-to method of cord cutting. So, candle spells. Who doesn't love a candle spell? So, now, some shops, and I'm specifically now thinking of Starchild in Glastonbury, sell candles that are joined at the wick. So you buy them in twos, but they're joined at the wick. On the blog, I'll put a picture so you get an idea. So they would actually be quite ideal, because you've already got the link, because the wick is still together. So you'd put the said candles, which I haven't got, unfortunately. But yeah, you'd still need the 2 candles. You would need a fireproof dish. You'd need a lighter. And then you could put the candles in your dish, visualize the connection. You've still got to visualize. It's just this time you're using candles, which, as I say, who doesn't love a good candle spell? So you'd still visualize the link between you and the other person, place, or thing. And when you were ready and you had that visualization and that link firmly in your mind, then you would light the wick between the 2 candles, watch it separate, and then the candles burning down. And then you would just throw whatever's left in the bin. The disadvantage of that is that they tend to be the same colour candles. So I tend to use white or black. If you're using 2 separate candles, you can have one candle that represents you and one candle that represents somebody or something else. So for me, because I love purple, I chose that one. And because I want to release whatever, or let go of, or remove somebody, but I don't mean them harm or the thing harm. When I was thinking about doing this and doing a show and tell, I actually picked a pink candle, which I was quite surprised at. I was expecting to pick up a black one or maybe a red one, but no, it was the pink that actually jumped out. And again, what would you do? So you would get your fireproof dish, you would put your candles in your fireproof dish, and you would then get some cord. Cotton is good. I chose black. It could be any colour. The idea is to layer. So if you've done a visualization already and seen this cord, so you know the colour of this cord, then you would use thread to attach. So basically what you would do, and sorry, I haven't got a separate webcam, so you would attach your thread to said candle. Would it matter which way round you did it? Possibly. It's my cord, so I would probably attach it to me first. Just wrap this around, hopefully it'll stay there. And then you attach it to the other one, like that. You probably can't see that very clearly, but yeah, it's just, if I wasn't doing this online or on camera so that I had both hands, I would knot it on each rather than just resting across, but you get the idea. Go back to your visualization once you've actually attached. See this as you and other thing, and when you feel ready, you light the cord in the middle. See it burn. You need to still, because obviously this isn't going to light the wick. So once you've actually severed, because these bits are still knotted, so I would tend to do that first, followed by me, and then said other person. That's just the way I would do it if I was to be working this. But yeah, you use as many layers as you need to. If you want to add some herbs to do with your intent, or that you think of when you are thinking of the person, place or thing, then add those. If you want to have a crystal, you could have a crystal as well. That you could actually charge. Now I'm thinking about this as I'm going along. So a crystal, you could actually afterwards charge with the intention, your intention of not reattaching to said person, place or thing, and then carry it with you. You could do that with a pendant as well. You don't have to have a separate crystal. It could be a pendant, something that you normally wear, earring even, something, or a ring, something that you normally wear. You could charge that to remind you not to allow that attachment to come back. So yeah, those are relatively easy, simple. The candle magic one you can make as complicated as you want. make it into a full ritual. And as I said, Rachel has very kindly let me tell you about one of the rituals in her book, Curative Magic. It's actually called Release the Bindings Ritual. And I will read it rather than try and, if I think of anything as I'm going through, I will add in bits. But yeah, so Rachel says in the book, this ritual is set with the intent of letting go, releasing, purifying, and cleansing all that no longer serves you. Just remember that when you have a clear out of negative energy, it leaves a void. So you need to fill that with positive intentions. The Sumerian goddess Inanna lends her energy to this ritual. She is excellent to help strip things down to the core and removing that which is no longer needed. The ritual helps release you from all that binds you. It can be done using the items listed, or you can sit quietly and just visualize it. Visualizing this ritual rather than just the visualization that we spoke about a few minutes ago. So for this ritual, you will need a small dish of water with a pinch of salt added, a black candle, a white candle, dark coloured thread or twine, natural fibre that will burn, a fireproof dish, scissors, lighter or matches. You then need to cast your circle. You can do that in your normal way, or Rachel gives you some ideas here, either going around in a circle clockwise or standing on the spot and just visualizing it. She also says if you want to use the salt water to create a boundary, you can. As you cast the circle, you could say circle of light, circle of peace, circle of protection, circle this place. And then you can finish it with so be it. If you want to, you can call the quarters. So you turn to face each of the compass directions, starting with the north. Some people start in the east. It's up to you, whatever you normally do. So north is earth, east is air, south is fire, west is water. So as you turn to each direction, element of earth, bringing stability and grounding. Please join me in this place. Blessings of earth. Turn to the east, element of air, bringing peace and clarity. Please join me in this place. Blessings of air. Turn to the south, element of fire, bringing energy and passion. Please join me in this place. Blessings of fire. And finally, water. Turning to the west, element of water, bringing emotion and calm. Please join me in this place. Blessings of water. You would then light your black candle and say, I call upon the ancient and wise goddess Inanna and ask that you bring your strength, guidance, and support to assist me with this rite. Blessings to you. You then sit for a few moments, focus on the things that no longer serve you, hurt or damage you. What do you want to release and get rid of? Again, intention, your focus, specific, not just the person, place, or thing, as I've already said. What trait, what part of it do you want to get rid of? You then take the thread and you wrap it around your ankles. You don't have to wrap it around both of them. You can just wrap it around one if that's easier, and say something along the lines, these are the bindings that stop me from moving forward in my life. You then tie the thread around one of your wrists. If you're working with another person, then they could actually tie both your wrists and your ankles. But obviously, if you're doing this on your own, then one wrist, one ankle. And say, as you're tying it around your wrist, these are the bindings that stop me from taking hold of my own life and decisions. Take the scissors, cut the threads. I cut the ties that bind me, may I walk free. Take the thread, light it in the candle flame, and drop it into the flame-proof dish. Cut the threads that bind your wrist. I cut the ties that bind me. I now take control. And take the thread and light it in the candle and drop it into the fireproof dish. So that is you cutting those ties with whatever that is stopping you from moving forward, that is stopping you from taking control in your life. You would now light the white candle and take a few moments to visualize a white light emanating from that candle and washing over you, bringing positive, confident energy to you. Have a drink, have a sip of whatever you've got to drink, and raise your glass to Inanna and take a few bites of the food, and then close the ritual. So you'd face the center, hold your arms wide and say, my thanks to you, great goddess Inanna, for your strength, guidance and wisdom. Please continue to guide and support me with blessings and thanks. And then face each of the directions. So having come round that way, you're now going to go anti-clockwise. So you start with the west, element of water. My thanks for lending your energy today. Blessings of water. Element of fire to the south. Element of fire. My thanks for lending your energy today. Blessings of fire. To the east, element of air. My thanks for lending your energy today. Blessings of air. To the north, element of earth. My thanks for lending your energy today. Blessings of earth. You then walk your circle, again anti-clockwise because you're undoing it. Circle of light, circle of peace, circle of protection, circle this place. This circle is now open but never broken. Any drink or food that you've got left over, you can take out and give to Mother Earth, and dispose of any of the remainder in the trash, or not the candles, the depending on what thread you used. If you've got ash, you can flush it down the toilet, but the candles you'd need to put in the trash. And as I said, there are numerous websites, and I put a link to Rachel's book on the written blog that goes along with this. So yeah, basically you can adapt. My preference, as I said, is the visualization, because you can do it anywhere. What was that? Anytime, any place, anywhere. There was an advert from the 60s or 70s. Anyway, sorry, my mind just went off at a tangent. My preference is the visualization. If you know that visualization isn't your strong point, then you might want to incorporate candles, more of a ritual, because then that helps you to focus more. We've all got strengths, we've all got weaknesses, I find that things, as you know from if you've seen any of my other talks, if I start doing anything too complicated, it doesn't work, because I can't concentrate. I need to keep things nice and simple and straightforward, because then I can focus, I can direct my energy where I specifically want it. And that's the important thing with cord cutting. As I said several times already, make sure what you are severing is what you want to sever. Because once you've done this, there isn't any undoing. With cursing, with hexing, with binding, you can unbind, you can unhex, you can uncurse. With a cord cutting, you can't. So make absolutely sure that when you do it, you are doing it to what you want, not just a blanket out, because there is no coming back from it. So yeah, start small. So if it is a person, if it's a specific action or trait of theirs that is bugging you, then concentrate on that, not on the person, but on what they do, which is eating away at you. It could be your boss at work who always takes credit for your work. So you concentrate on that. You don't concentrate on your boss. You concentrate on the fact that your boss always takes credit for your work, and that's going to stop. Yeah. So I hope this has been of use, because the reason it's been done is because there were some queries that came up from the waffling last week, and then in the chat afterwards on Facebook. So yeah, I do hope this has been useful. Please do make comments and let us know if there's any others that we could be doing. And I will see you next time.